Hello everyone, and welcome to another story time. Today, we're heading into the beautiful, whimsical world of Beatrix Potter to follow a squirrel who simply couldn't help himself. This is the Tale of Squirrel Nutkin, a story about cleverness, mischief, and a silent owl who teaches a powerful lesson. It's funny, it's a little dark, and it stays with you long after the story ends. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Journey Across the Lake. It was autumn. The leaves had turned golden and red, and the forest was full of rustling and whispers. By the calm waters of Lake Derwentwater, a group of squirrels were getting ready for a big adventure. Their goal? To reach the island in the middle of the lake, Owl Island, and collect ripe hazelnuts before winter. But they couldn't just take the nuts. The island belonged to Old Brown, a wise, serious, and very silent owl. To earn his permission, the squirrels planned to bring him gifts. They built tiny rafts from twigs and leaves. They used their tails as sails and paddled carefully across the lake. Among them was Nutkin, the wildest, cheekiest squirrel of them all. Chapter 2. The First Gift. On their first day, the squirrels brought a fat little mouse as a gift for Old Brown. Old Brown blinked slowly and took the mouse. That meant they had permission. All the squirrels bowed politely. All except Nutkin. Instead, he jumped forward and shouted, riddle me, rot-tot-tote, a little red man in a red coat, a staff in his hand and a stone in his throat. If you'll tell me this riddle, I'll give you a groat. Old Brown didn't reply. He simply turned and went back inside his tree. Nutkin laughed and ran off. Chapter 3. The Daily Games. Every morning, the squirrels brought gifts to Old Brown: a mole, a beetle, a honeycomb, an egg. Every morning, Old Brown accepted the gift in silence. Every morning, the squirrels gathered nuts. And every morning, Nutkin refused to bring a gift. Instead, he shouted riddles. Humpty Dumpty lies in a shell. Leave him alone and all is well. Break his crown and spill his guts. You'll be sorry, nuts or no nuts. He danced, he sang, he made faces. He even climbed up Old Brown's tree and peeked inside. The other squirrels grew nervous. Nutkin, stop. This isn't wise. But Nutkin just smiled. He never says anything. He won't hurt me. Chapter 4. Signs of Trouble. By the fourth day, Old Brown's feathers twitched when Nutkin approached. He didn't speak, but he watched more closely. He blinked less. Still, Nutkin danced closer. Old Mr. B, don't you know? I'm the sharpest squirrel in the wood below. You live in a tree and never talk, but I can riddle while I walk. Old Brown didn't respond. But inside, his patience was growing thin. That night, the wind howled across the lake. The other squirrels huddled together. He's pushing too far, they whispered. Chapter 5. The Last Day. On the sixth day, the squirrels brought wild honey, their best gift yet. Old Brown took it without a sound. As the others went to gather nuts, Nutkin stayed behind. He danced right up to the owl's tree and shouted, Old Mr. B, come out and play. I've saved my best for the final day. A riddle so sharp it stings and bites. Do you give up or fight for your rights? And then he threw a nut at the base of the tree. Old Brown stepped out. Suddenly, fast as lightning, he flew down and grabbed Nutkin by the tail. Chapter 6. The Escape. There was a wild scream. The other squirrels froze in shock. Nutkin kicked, twisted, and shouted. Old Brown held tight. He climbed the tree, dragging Nutkin with him. The squirrels scratched and fought. And then, with one final twist, Nutkin broke free. But not without a cost. His beautiful tail was torn clean off. He hit the ground running. He didn't stop. The other squirrels followed silently. Conclusion. The lesson of silence. Nutkin was never the same again. He stopped joking. He stopped dancing. He no longer sang riddles. He barely spoke at all. Some say he learned respect. Others say he simply lost his spark. But no one, not even Nutkin, ever returned to Owl Island. What does this story teach us? It tells us that cleverness without respect is dangerous. That silence doesn't always mean weakness. And that every joke has its limit. Nutkin thought he was untouchable, but he crossed a line. And though he survived, he lost a part of himself, his tail, his pride, and his joy. So the next time you feel like teasing, ask yourself, is this funny or just foolish? Thanks for joining us for this beautiful and meaningful tale. We'll see you again in the next story.